Okay, so in this part of the challenge, I asked you to go ahead and sort out the polygons in the Venn diagram on this website. So when you put this website in to your browser, it should open up this website right here. Now, this website contains a Venn diagram and 16 polygons, 16 shapes, and you're supposed to sort out the polygons where they belong in the Venn diagram. Now, first of all, if you do not know what a Venn diagram is, you can go ahead and write notes. So, well, you should go ahead and take notes anyway. Go to your notebook. So this is in your graphing notebook, the one I gave you in class. Go to page 4. Put page 4 on the top left corner and then title the page Attributes of Polygons. So you can go ahead and pause the video while you do that. And then play it again when you have finished putting this information in your notebook. All right, so a couple notes. First of all, what is a Venn diagram? Okay, so a Venn diagram is a diagram that contains elements of sets, okay, within two circles and containing the common elements of two sets within the overlapping area of the circle. So I'm going to give you a minute, pause the video here to write this definition down, and then keep on going. So essentially what it looks like is you've got two circles. Okay. Transparent. And this part inside where they overlap, so this is going to be, I'm going to draw a little arrow here. This circle contains one set of the elements. So elements of set number 1 that do not belong in set number 2. And then this one right here is elements of set number 2 that do not belong in set number 1. So for example, let me draw a quick arrow and I'll tell you an example. So for example, right, a Honda would belong here, and well, maybe what's a different example? Oh, okay, I got it. A car and a bicycle, right? They're two separate things, right? Or maybe, let's see, what's a better example than that? All right, how about this? Being a nurse and means you help sick people, and then being a teacher means you help students, right? So two different things, right? Being a nurse over here means you help sick people. That's not something you do as a teacher, right? Teachers don't really help sick people. And then over here, teachers work with students. That's not something you really do as a nurse, right? You don't really have students. But something here in the middle, where they overlap, is something that belongs in both set number 1 and set number 2. Elements that belong in set number 1 and set number 2. So essentially, teachers and nurses both help people, right? So that's something that could go in the middle because both of them do that. So that's an example. So I'm going to write an example. So maybe the first set is nurses. And then the second set is teachers. And nurses help sick people. Teachers help students. So, and then they both help people. Okay. So go ahead and copy this diagram on page 4 and pause the video while you do that. Okay, so hopefully you kind of understand how Venn diagrams work. Now you can kind of start working with the Venn diagram on this website. Now I want to get a couple of definitions out of the way before we work with this Venn diagram. So this Venn diagram has 2 different sets. The first set is saying all the shapes, all the polygons that have at least one pair of parallel sides. So what does that mean? So a parallel sides, okay, so go ahead and write this down. Parallel means parallel sides. 2 sides that, or maybe just not 2 sides, 2 or more sides that will never intersect. Intersect means cross. So pause the video and write down the definition of parallel sides. All right, so let me do a quick diagram of that. So a quick picture is the shape of a square, right? I'm going to go ahead and label the 2 sides. So if you take a look, right, this side right here, I'm going to do it in red, will never cross this side right here because they are parallel, right? They're side by side like this. If you extend them to go on forever and ever on both sides, they will never touch each other. They will never cross each other. On the other hand, this side, this black one, is not parallel to a red side because they do cross right here at the corner, okay? So as you can see, squares have parallel sides, at least one pair, okay? So you can go ahead and write that example down. All right, so let's go on to the website and actually see what the next set is. So on this one is you're going to put all the shapes that have a pair of parallel sides. On this one, you're going to put all the shapes that have at least 2 sides of equal length. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? At least 2 of the sides have to be the same length. They have to be the same, size, okay? So let's do an example. And then obviously right here in the middle are shapes that have both a pair of parallel sides and have at least 2 sides of equal length. So I'm going to do an example for you. I'm going to pick this triangle right here. As you can see, this triangle have no parallel sides, right? This side will cross this side will cross this side right here, they cross, and then this side and this side cross right here. So there are no parallel sides, but I do know that these 2 sides, this left side and this right side, look like they are equal in length, right? They look like they're pretty much the same length. So I know that this side right here, or this shape right here, this polygon belongs to this part of the Venn diagram, okay? Now, if they have both, you put it here. If they have parallel sides but not equal length, you put it here. And if they don't belong to any of this, so like there's a shape that maybe doesn't fit into any of these, you just keep it on the outside, okay? So now it's your turn. Go ahead, drag these shapes, put them where you think they belong, and then when you're finished, take a screenshot. And on your Chromebook, the way you take a screenshot is you just click Control Shift and then the box that says F4. So Control Shift F4, and then you select the area that you want. So it should look something like this right? And then you're going to go ahead and select the area that you want, and then you're going to save it or copy it and then upload it on DreamSeed. If you need any help with this assignment at all, come to workshop, ask me, message me, whatever you need. But go ahead and sort out all these polygons where you think they belong in this Venn diagram.